On the 10th of November 2008, Business Link delivered its first annual Marketing the Art Of conference at the Sage Gateshead. The following is one of 6 workshops that were recorded on the day in front of a live audience. Business Link is proud to present Avril Scott delivering How to Write a Marketing Plan.
Hello, my name's Avril Scott, and today on behalf of the Chartered Institute of Marketing, I'm going to be taking you through how to write a marketing plan. First of all, can I check that everybody has the handout, which is downloadable from the website, the Chartered Institute of Marketing website, which is Marketing Planning Toolkit for Small Businesses. Okay, thank you. So what is marketing? The Chartered Institute of Marketing defines marketing as marketing is the management process responsible for identifying, anticipating and satisfying customer needs profitably. But how can marketing help my business? Well, it can help you understand your customers. It can help you win new customers. It can help you understand your competitors. And it can help you find opportunities for new businesses. So where do I start? Well, the first thing you've got to consider is the goals and objectives. Your customers, products, competitors, and how you currently market your product or service. So let's look at goals and objectives. All businesses need to set objectives. By writing a statement or vision of what you want to achieve over a specific period of time will help you to drive your business and motivate your staff. Marketing is full of acronyms, and here's the first one. We use it, it's called SMART. And we use SMART for setting objectives. So what does SMART stand for? Well, the S, specific. Objectives should state precisely what you want to achieve. Measurable. You've got to be able to measure whether you're meeting your objectives or not. Achievable. Are the objectives that you set achievable and attainable? Realistic. Can you realistically achieve the objectives with resources, for example, budget, people that you have? And finally, timely. When do you want to achieve the set objectives? This slide here is of the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich. It's a place where I used to work many years ago, and it's the example I thought was, although a bit out of date, is actually a very good one. So the National Maritime Museum, let's look at their SMART objectives. Well, first of all, the National Maritime Museum is it's a museum and visitor attraction. Its vision was to attract more families. So specific. It's to achieve visitor numbers of 430,000 during 1998 and 1999. And then to increase this to 750,000 in 1999-2000. This was further broken down when I come back to being, let's be specific, in terms of, well, who were the visitors that they wanted to attract? In this case, they wanted to attract 50% of what we call the domestic market, which is UK residents, and 50% from overseas. The 50% from overseas was further broken down into which countries. It was then further broken down by site. The National Maritime Museum consists of three attractions. It's the National Maritime Museum, the Royal Observatory, which has the Meridian Line, and the Queen's House. And again, this was further broken down by families, groups, schools, travel trade, individuals, etc. You might not be able to go that far, but this is your starting point. Measurable. Well, how were we going to be able to measure whether we made that quite large leap from 430,000 to 750,000? Well, we could do that by ticket sales, bookings, advanced bookings, and also market research. And the market research would ask the questions, for example, where people had come from, how long they'd spent in the museum that day. So it gave us a lot more information than just the numbers. For example, where people came from, how many hours they spent in the museum. Achievable. Well, it was the first Heritage Lottery funded project. It was a £21 million redevelopment. We also, as I mentioned earlier, the Royal Observatory is part of the National Maritime Museum, which has the Meridian Line, and it was the millennium. So lots of people were coming to see the Meridian Line, as well as then coming to see the National Maritime Museum, we hoped. Realistic. Well, we had an increased budget for both marketing and PR, new members of staff, an advertising agency, a PR agency, a promotional agency, and huge support from all the tourist bodies. Finally, timely. It was over a 2-year period. And yes, the National Maritime Museum did achieve those objectives and has continued to have various redevelopments. Now, this is the first task that I'd all like you to do. First of all, I'd like you to write down the type of business you are running. That's if you are self-employed or thinking about setting up your own business, or the organisation that you work for. So we'll spend a couple of minutes doing that. So now that you've written down the type of business and the organisation that you're running or work for, the next thing I'd like you to do is to write your vision for where you want to be or where your organisation wants to be. If you work for an organisation, perhaps you can think about what the organisation's vision is and what you think the marketing vision would be for that organisation. And if we could look at a 5-year time period and include SMART objectives, and I'll go back to the slide. There they go, the SMART objectives, just to remind you. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So if we can just spend 5 minutes going through that. I'll also come round individually, and if you've got any questions, please ask. Right, great. As I mentioned earlier, the marketing plan is actually quite a big task to undertake, and lots of people who are thinking about writing the marketing plan keep on thinking, oh, I'll do that next week. Let's put that in the diary for next month. And as like all of us, sometimes when you're trying to face with a new project, when you've got the day-to-day work going on, it just doesn't happen. So can I suggest that actually, when you're doing your marketing plan, you try and break it down into bite-sized chunks. So this is that was one task that I asked you to do. Let's carry on finding out about strategic analysis. So the next thing, you've done your SMART objectives, is to start thinking about your own business or the organisation that you work for and the market environment in which you're operating. You need to look internally and externally at your business. The factors that may affect your business now and in the future. It's a bit of a fact-finding task here. Find and collate the data and information, because what you're trying to do is use the data to draw marketing-related conclusions. So internally, you'd be surprised. I often meet clients who think they don't actually have much information at all. But in fact, it's surprising what you do have. So let's start off with what customer information or client information do you have? Data, numbers, trends, profiles. Do you know what marketing activity has worked well, or perhaps not has been as successful as you would have hoped? Externally, you can find information about population, regional, local figures and trends in your business sector. I mentioned marketing is full of acronyms. Well, here's the second one. It used to be known as PEST, but now it's known as PESTLE. So this is the checklist. What's PESTLE, first of all? We're looking at the positive and negative factors, the issues and trends that are likely to have an impact on your business. So the P stands for political and legislative factors or issues, economic factors, social, technological development factors, and the new two are legal and environmental factors.